Hi guys, Lawrence Man here, and today I want to review a book for you. That's right. This is Mythical Beasts, an artist's field guide to designing fantasy creatures. Now this thing is absolutely fantastic, it's huge, it's thick, and there's not a page wasted with useless information. This is 100% an artist's reference guide. I was blown out of the water by this. Stick with me, let's have a look through. Straight off the bat, this gold embossed cover is absolutely beautiful, and you can see it kind of shimmering in the light a bit there. That is absolutely beautiful. I'll go ahead, open it up, and I'll just remove the thank you card there that was sent to me with the book. And this is a 3Dtotal art resources guidebook on their other publications. Now this is from 3Dtotal. Yep, these are the guys who create a lot of useful content, magazines and books, and you may have seen some of their 3D reference guide models. I'm gonna hopefully get some of those in the studio to review as well. Those things look absolutely fantastic, and now that I'm doing 3D modeling as well, you know, reference guides are brilliant. Reference models, I've reviewed a few of in the past and love them to bits. The ones that 3Dtotal do, they are highly detailed. If you haven't seen them, go and check them out, or wait for my review. Do that instead. But here we go, let's get into the book. This is so well made and so well printed. It's absolutely beautiful, it really is. And the full colour illustrations there on one of the internal pages. They haven't wasted anything, because even where there's a page they don't need to put much, they put a decent sized illustration that's pretty inspiring. Some of the artists they've had put in on this, I'd have loved to have been involved in this book. There's some lovely, beautiful work. There really is. And you can see it has notes on how to use this book and so on and so forth. Every section is really highly detailed. There are all kinds of creatures and animals in here that I wouldn't have expected to actually see. They've really padded this out with a lot of different creatures. Some that, yep, I expected to be on the list, and some that I really didn't. The great thing about this though is the fact that what they've actually done is drawing it from beginning to end. Normally starting off with things like thumbnail sketches, through to working through ideas, and then to the finished piece, and that includes lighting and texture developing in some stages. This almost seems like they've commissioned a bunch of artists to create finished pieces, and then what they've done is they've said, right, well, along the way we'd like you to keep a track of your artwork as well, keep images for us to use in the book, and then we'll come back and we'll write out a small piece on how that was developed. It works really well together as a book. As you can see here, for example, with the boggart, we've got some field notes on what a boggart might be made up of, the different thought processes that go into it before even laying a pencil on the paper or a stylus on the tablet. Then we've got things like musculature, hair, etc, etc, and they've devoted a whole 2 pages to that, which I think is pretty good and pretty important. Then we go on to the thumbnails for the pose, the overall size, etc, etc. There's some really nice notes in there too. Then we start to see the character develop some more, and this is what they're really doing here, is developing character rather than just drawing a picture. I think that's pretty cool, and I think that's really important, especially for anyone who wants to actually be a professional concept artist. This is the inner workings, the thought processes that really go into, you know, being a concept artist. And then we end up with the final piece, and by the time you've gotten to this section, you kind of clearly understand why the boggart has the staff, why the boggart is covered in moss and grass and everything else. You understand about this boggart, and that is an absolutely beautiful thing, and it's something that I think is sadly lacking and missing in a lot of books, especially reference books that I pick up these days. From beginning to end, this book is highly detailed. There's so many creatures in it. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. The only thing about this book that I'm upset about is the fact that I wasn't involved in the creation of it. Like I said, I'd love to have thrown my hand in on drawing a creature or two for this. It's so well put together, it's well written, and yeah, at the end of the day, there's no fault to this book as far as I can really find. I'd love it to be longer, of course. Maybe there's definitely room for a second edition. Fantasy weapons, and then an edition on sci-fi weapons, or so on and so forth. There's so much scope with something like this, but this is a book that I think every artist wants to go out and buy, because one of the great things about books is that the reason I have a shelf of books up there, I mean, some of those, okay, yeah, I did the covers for. A lot of the time when I'm sat around trying to think of ideas and I want inspiration, there's nothing worse than surfing the internet, because you know within 5 minutes you end up on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. And a lot of the time a book is a really, really good way of just getting that inspiration. Pick this up, you know there are familiar pages. The next time you want to design a dragon, for example, I can just flick through it. Bang! Dragon. And then, you know, there's all kinds of useful information in there for where I might want to go with the design of a dragon and things to think about. Now, for someone like me who draws dragons a lot, not a problem. But for a particular creature that I'm not used to drawing, or I don't know that much about, this book's got it all. Let me know what you think of this, how good you think this is. Another thing 3Dtotal have done is include playing cards. These were absolutely great, love them to bits. It was a nice reminder of what was in the book and references to who the artists were. But it's just a happy little playing card game to go with the book. And I really appreciated that nice little touch, and I think it's things like that that make 3Dtotal's books really, really enjoyable. And like I say, they've gone out of their way with their mannequins and their art reference models. Everything from them just seems to be so high quality. It's just a problem that a lot of other publishers and manufacturers just don't seem to step up to the plate where artists are concerned as much as these guys do. But then again, hey, we just have to find some more out there to review, won't we? So let me know what you guys think. Do you love this book? Does it seem useful to you? You know, is there something you'd change about this? Are you interested in it? I've got links in the description below so you can go and grab a copy. And yeah, ultimately, I'm going to be reading this for a while now. This just is a lot of fun. So, look at that. Look at that cover. The way that shimmers. That's beautiful. Ultimately, this book is absolutely fantastic. I think it's a great reference for any artist. The sheer amount of information in here, let alone the fact that they haven't wasted a page. I'm going to be doing more book reviews. Let me know what books you'd like to see, if there's any more from 3Dtotal. I've already spotted a couple in there that I want to read. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. Do you have this? What do you think of it? Have you had a look through it? You know, you can always go and request your nearest library to get a copy as well. That's not a bad idea if you think a book is maybe out of your price range, and you can do that with any book. But yeah, I sincerely suggest having a copy of this at home, because when you need that little nudge in the direction of inspiration, a book like this, absolutely brilliant. Stay tuned and I'll bring you more reviews very soon. Well, thanks for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and even subscribe to my channel, Lawrence Can Draw. And if you really did like what you saw here, you can see more of it on my website, lawrenceman.co.uk. I'll see you next time.